Nicole again with Dr. Faulkner, and we have our special guest, Frank Trigg. He's going to be our special SculpSure patient, so let's get to SculpSuring. First step of the process, you guys missed it, but I have hooked up Frank to this little belt here, and the applicators for our SculpSure laser are going to hook right in, and that's how the treatment is going to be done. So you guys can hang on while I set him up. Now before I hook this up so you can't see it, each laser is going to be coming out of this little square here, and there's a cooling area. Jade glass? Yeah? What is it called? Ruby, sorry, I knew it was something. Ruby, that's going to keep the patient cool the entire time, so the skin never gets damaged. You're going to feel a little pressure, a little cold.
Just like getting locked into the ring, right?
No, this is a little more scary.
It's a little more scary?
Yeah.
You got pants.
So, thank you. So, if you guys missed what SculpSure was, I know we've been kind of calling it out before the event. SculpSure is a body contouring laser that helps to destroy fat cells and get rid of those annoying fat areas that you have in your body. So, Dr. Faulkner, do you want to explain a little bit what the laser does?
As many of you know, I'm kind of a techno laser freak. I love all these toys, and I think it's so cool what these things will do. And this laser is really interesting in that, of course, we're applying it to the skin here, but the laser beam is actually going to pass, the light is going to pass untouched through the skin to the fat layer below it, which we all don't want to have, but we all have, okay? So once it hits that fat layer, then the light will interact with the fat cells, and it'll heat the fat cells up to, somewhere around 42 degrees centigrade, and at that point those fat cells will be destroyed. And typically in the FDA studies and the studies that have been done, up to about 24% of the fat cells in this area will be destroyed. And fortunately or unfortunately, fat cells are like brain cells. We only get a certain amount of them. The difference is that our brain cells seem to go away as we get older, and our fat cells don't go away. So, but when we get rid of them, they don't come back. Okay?
So it is a permanent fat cell destruction. I like to say that. Permanent fat cell destruction. I know I want that, and I know you want that.
But isn't that cool to think that that laser can pass through your skin untouched and affect the layer underneath?
Very cool.
Yeah, and then it doesn't go deeper, so it doesn't really go past that. Once if it hits the muscle behind it and stuff, then the laser is just going to stop, and it's going to stay in that area and create the heating. Okay, so you ready to get going, Frank?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to turn you on.
So he's all set up. Treatment is going to last for 25 minutes. You can do multiple areas of the body. SculpSure is FDA approved for the lower and upper abdomen, back,
flanks, yep.
Back, bra, fat area. So it's going to be right up here. Ladies, I know I hate that, so I'm excited to try that area next for myself. And inner and outer thighs. Yes.
Correct.
And inner and outer thighs. So pretty much all those areas in your body that you hate the most, that you hate that lingering fat, we can treat with the SculpSure machine. Do you want to pass me that little chart there?
Sure.
Why, thank you. So, Frank, you're going to go ahead and tell me
This is funny because you're not this polite when the camera's not on. You're just yelling at me to move stuff.
He's laughing.
Shut up, be quiet, Frank.
So Frank is going to describe what he's feeling in 4 zones. So zone 1 is a pleasant cold feeling, 2 gentle warming, 3 tingly short intervals of warmth and cooling, and 4 is the fat destruction zone, which is where we want him to be. So that's prickling, pinching, a deep pressure. It's gonna feel a little warm, and it does feel hot, but if you don't feel anything, then it's not working. So no pain, no gain, right? Yeah.
Well, to a point.
Yeah, to a point, right. So he's right now in what we call the warm-up period. What does it feel like now? Probably
just mainly cold.
Yeah, really cold. So the skin, it's interesting, as I said, the laser passes through the skin untouched, but once the fat starts to heat up, it does have a heating effect on the skin, and that's why we have to cool the skin while we're doing it, to protect the skin.
And
So
basically the whole process, you want to get each area treated twice to get the best results. The first treatment is 25 minutes along with the second, and you'll space those treatments out about 4 to 6 weeks apart. Once you get the treatment done, you're not going to go home and see results right away. So he's not going to go home tonight and say, oh my gosh, my pants fit so much better. The treatment actually takes 12 weeks to complete. So we're not going to see Frank's ultimate results until 12 weeks after the second treatment. So that's really about 16 to 18 weeks after from the beginning to the end.
Right. And from a scientific point of view, the reason that happens is that those fat cells are going to be killed today, but the fat is then actually slowly released out of the cells, and the body just absorbs it into the bloodstream, and then it's excreted out and gotten rid of. And you know, people have asked, well, isn't that bad? You put all this fat in the bloodstream or anything like that. But studies have been done to show that it doesn't raise your blood fat levels or your cholesterol or all those things that people might worry about if they got the idea that their fat was being circulated amongst their bodies. So data's pretty good that it doesn't cause any harm.
Right, so he's going to see subtle changes over the next few weeks, and it'll start with his pants feel a little better, or he looks a little better to himself. He just is going to feel the difference in the way his clothes fit mostly. And then after the treatment period, we'll show the before and after pictures, and that's when you can really see the difference. How are you feeling?
Fine, yeah, no problem.
So Frank looks like he's in, pretty decent shape. What kind of body types is this, is this for?
So the best candidate for a SculpSure treatment is somebody that is with a BMI of about 30
or
less and has that just stubborn area of fat in one of those 5 areas that I had mentioned earlier that just won't go away. So we love anybody. It doesn't have to be somebody that works out every day, but just somebody that understands that it's not a weight loss miracle. It is something that's going to help to contour bodies of certain areas of your body, but not transform your whole body.
Right. Again, it's not a weight loss. It is definitely a contouring procedure that's made to affect those areas of your body that maybe despite working out, you still got that little tummy. You got those love handles. It's the part that just doesn't go away.
Or for myself, I'm a mom. I've had 3 kids. No matter what I do, we got the mommy pouch. So this, when Dr. Faulkner said, do you want to try SculpSure? I said, yes, please. So I'm really excited about it. And
yeah, so you've had a couple treatments. Mm-hmm. I've had several treatments.
Yes. You're not supposed to tell my secrets on
I
here.
know.
But so yes,
so
I have.
It's kind of obvious.
You two
if you own the machine, you're going to use it, right?
Have you two had the treatment done already?
Mm-hmm.
And have you noticed results in yourself?
I definitely have, and I'll actually be posting my before and after pictures soon because I just recently have hit my full 18-week process of the treatment. So keep tuned for my before and afters, and I've definitely noticed a big difference. I've done my abdomen and my flanks.
Your flanks. Hopefully your flanks are flatter.
Flanks are flatter.
Right?
Yes, not fatter.
Yeah, I definitely noticed the difference. The kind of interesting thing is I feel like patients have to buy into this a little bit and work with us. And certainly if you do this in conjunction with exercise program, diet, lose some weight, then you're going to get an even greater result from this. And it doesn't really compete with liposuction, for that's typically for a more difficult problem or a larger problem. The nice thing about this is, although it may be a little bit uncomfortable while you're going, typically for the next couple of days you'll feel like you've done some extra sit-ups, or you started doing sit-ups again. You get a little muscle tightness and a little muscle discomfort, but nothing that's severe, and certainly not like liposuction where you spend 6 weeks wrapped up with your abdomen all tight. You can't do anything. This is a really treat and go program here.
Yeah, and just to go back on what you said about it being a jump start to work out and all of that. There is something important about maintaining your weight when you're going through this process. We don't want you to get a SculpSure treatment and then
Head for delivery.
go to Mickey D's for the next 12 weeks every day just because it's defeating the process. You want to help it as much as you can and do what you need to do to keep your weight at least the same or less.
Yeah, because with the weight thing, you're destroying the fat cells in that area, but of course you still have fat cells in your body. Doing good. You still have fat cells in your body, so if you gain weight, you will still make more fat in those fat cells.
Right.
And that's what people don't realize is that fat cells is not you don't make more and more fat cells. You just make fatter and fatter fat cells as you gain weight. So, we've sort of joked about it that maybe you contour everything except for your booty and then gain weight if you want to get a bigger booty.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But
Nice.
it conceivably work, but that's not really usually the normal goal. Here, it's usually make everything a little smaller.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I have a question from Lisa. She wants to know, how does it feel right now, Frank?
That's fine.
Actually,
I think
actually,
we've
that's the
actually turned
question
them
I
up.
was going to say is that.
Frank's a pretty strong guy. You probably crank that up a little bit.
It's we're probably at a 3, but she just dumped it up twice, so we'll see what happens on the next go around.
Yep.
I mean, it was just, but it's not. It's a little uncomfortable, but nothing like.
Just like when you have cramps, right?
Not sure.
No. That's what actually a lot of the women say is that it feels a little bit like lighter menstrual cramps or something like that.
So
At some point.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, just to give an idea that it's not fun, but it's not awful either.
it's not fun, but it's not awful, and cramping, to tell you the truth, it was different for me every time. I've had 3 treatments now, and each treatment felt a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
The first treatment was the easiest, I think, because I was excited and I didn't know what to expect. The second and third was a little more sensitive for me. I couldn't necessarily let the laser buff as high, but it's not something that's like you can't go through it. It's a little bit more of a deep pressure or a deep heat, some kind of pinching, but not anything where I'm screaming and I'm not coming back. I get the treatment done and I'm like, when's my next one?
Right, and I was gonna make that point too. That there's a large variance in how people react to it. We've had people who just sit there cranked in and they don't seem to have any problem whatsoever. And then some of us like me are a wimp and I can't really raise it up that much. I start getting a little bit uncomfortable and I wish I was a little bit stronger, but I don't. But the point is, you actually don't have to get to a huge level of discomfort or drive the laser all the way up to get results. That's the whole point of the scorecard, is once you get that sort of feeling, it's telling you that the temperature is right inside the fat cells and you're getting it.
Right, so that's why it's important to communicate with us while you're getting the treatment done, and why we keep on asking Frank, how are you feeling? Because if he's too uncomfortable, then we need to bring it down. We don't want you to be at that point where you can't handle the treatment. It's supposed to be very tolerable.
And there's actually an escape. If you are to a point where it's a little bit warmer than you want or you're uncomfortable, and we actually just hit the laser and we hit a cooling cycle, and it'll actually extra cool the skin, which is where most of the sensation is, and then it'll start back up. And it extends the treatment a little bit, but the cooling cycle does not make it where you don't get the same result.
So when you hit the cooling cycle, the timer stops?
Well, what it does is it throws in, I think it's a 1-minute cool as opposed to a 10 minutes cool, and then it backs down one level automatically.
You mean
And
10
starts back
seconds?
up.
Yes,
A minute instead
Yeah,
of 10
so you get this
seconds,
nice big
right?
burst of cool, and then you
30
feel
seconds.
all relieved, and then it starts back on the cycles. And essentially, the cycle is a 30-second cycle. You get 20 seconds of heating, and then 10 seconds of cooling, and those alternate. So kind of like no matter how bad it starts to feel, you're only at it for 20 seconds, and then you get some relief. So how you feeling now? Get a little more?
Yeah, you can go up another one.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
Wow.
Cool.
Hey Frank, didn't you just come from the gym today?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
Freaking Darren, jackass. I was probably going to have like a light. I was trying to do a light little pump, so I was laying down with no shirt on. He's like, well, let's go ahead and just max out on bench today. Oh, sure, thanks. Why not? So usually I have my hand behind my head or my arms up. I can't do it today.
So what you're saying is this feels great compared to your
absolutely.
arms. Yeah.
My
It's
chest
the old
is
theory
on
if your finger hurt step on their toe, right?
What was that, Sergeant Payne?
Yeah.
He's like, I got a bullet when it hurts. Don't worry, I'll fix it. He breaks your pinky. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Major Pain, yeah.
Yeah, Major Pain.
Yeah, it's an awesome movie. Wow. I haven't seen that since 2000 or something.
So Frank's doing great. You can see that there's lights on the laser, which are kind of cool because it's important that the laser's in contact with your skin to get the cooling effect. And should one of these heads move a little bit or something like that, and the contact's not good enough to cool you, then it actually alarms and it lights up yellow. And Nicole comes over here and wiggles you a little bit and gets you all hooked up, and then it just keeps on going. So where are you at now? We're at 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
It's going by quick.
Because you guys are talking a lot longer than that.
Well, yeah.
Frank, we can let you talk. So we're sharing on your Facebook page right now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your followers want to know, what did you think of McGregor Mayweather?
Oh, geez. It was the best highest-paced sparring match I've ever seen. It was incredible.
Like, they should have just had the helmets on and everything, right?
Yeah, so
Not the helmets.
I picked Mayweather to win by TKO in the 5th. He ends up winning by TKO in the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the first round, he threw 5 punches.
5 punches.
All 5 landed, but he only threw 5 punches. He didn't really care. Then you look at the final result. McGregor had 111 punches landed, which is like 30 more punches than Pacquiao. Well, it's because Mayweather doesn't do anything. He doesn't really care. Come the 4th round, he started picking up the pace, and then you noticed how the tide started changing. I actually left the table, went and got a beer in the 7th round from where we were watching it, because I thought it was over as soon as the 7th started. McGregor was completely exhausted, has nothing left in the tank, and still fights 3 more rounds. I don't care how you feel about McGregor, I don't care what you say about McGregor, he's completely exhausted and still able to fight. That's nuts. That's incredible for anybody to do 9 more minutes when you're already hit the end zone. Now, I knew the fight was going to end in TKO because that's the way boxing rules are. Right. The referee knows the score, he knows who's winning, he knows mathematically is it possible for Conor to win at this point in the fight. He knows it's not.
I didn't realize
the only way he can win is by KO. Or TKO. He hasn't shown us any time in the previous 9 rounds he has that ability. So the referee's like, you're getting starched. Yes, he got hit 3 or 4 times, then 4 punches missed, then he got hit again. But the last 3 punches landed solid. If you're listening to it, with just the punch contact, he gets hit solid every single time. Yep. The ref stopped it at the perfect time, in the perfect space for that fight. Now there is a video running around of him, the pre-fight, when he's only looking at McGregor, and the ref is talking only to McGregor as he's giving the pre-fight. Obey my commands, obey my rules, the whole thing. There's a one going around now. I'm in Mayweather's pocket. I'm owned by Mayweather. So if you hit Mayweather at all, I'm stopping this fight. It's like, it's funny, but it's kind of like, there's that conspiracy theory out there, like, oh yeah, Conor threw the fight. Conor got he lost. He was gracious in defeat. That's just what it is. It was a great fight. But the real fight was actually Miguel Cotto fighting Saturday night, winning his 6th title. That was actually the biggest fight of the night Saturday night, and that was happening in LA and not in Vegas. And then the Triple G fight's coming up in a week or so. That's actually the next big fight.
Right. That's supposed to be a better boxing match than what we saw.
No spectacle.
Because it was hardly a boxing match once Mayweather decided he was going to start throwing some punches.
He decided to box, right?
The question I was wondering,
and someone walked in,
could he have finished it within the first 3 rounds if he wanted to?
I don't think he could have, because that's not his style. That means he has to put too much output. Yeah. And what he does, he makes you, Mayweather's style is to make you throw a bunch of punches and get tired. Yeah. And you saw, and he said in the post-fight, we knew by the 7th round he'd be exhausted because that's the longest Conor's ever gone. Right. He's never been in a fight like this. Like, he's going to be exhausted now. I can start picking up my pace. So in between rounds, his uncle told him, pick up the pace. I need you to start throwing more punches. So yeah, he picked up the pace, went from 5 to 10. Then he went to 15, and all of a sudden he's at 30. And now he's throwing 50 punches. Like, well, what happened? Well, because he knows. He knows he's not going to get hit, and if he does get hit, it's going to be light. So
he seemed all jabs that he got hit by.
The biggest punch he got hit with was that uppercut.
Yeah.
Most guys when they get hit with that uppercut, they back up. Mayweather stepped forward. Now you're like, I hit you with my best shot, and you're stepping forward on me now? I'm in trouble. That's a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
So Frank, you're doing pretty well. How you feeling?
Tired.
Yeah.
Tired from the workout.
No, I'm laying down. I always get sleepy when I lay down.
It's a long weekend.
How's your
long weekend?
It's a little hot right now, but it's getting to the space now that right when it's like super uncomfortable, or not super uncomfortable, but more uncomfortable than I really want to tolerate right now.
Then the cooling kicks in
so
right
it's
there,
like-
right. And it gets to that point for me at the 18th second. and I'm so happy for the 20th. But, you know, again, we haven't had anybody who has chosen based on the discomfort not to come back or anything. It really is a minimal discomfort. And to point out, you are actually maxed out right now.
Oh, okay.
You're on the top
Surprised.
level and
Not surprised.
tolerating it very well.
Frank can take the pain.
So we also are going to be running a promotion. If you are interested in figuring out the details on what this promotion is, this is what you need to do. You need to call Aloha Laser Vision 808-792-3937 and ask for Nicole. And you're going to schedule a consultation for a SculpSure treatment using the code Frank Fights the Fat. If you don't use this code, then you don't get the special pricing at your consultation. So consultations are always free, by the way. You'll find out what the promotional treatment price is going to be at the consultation. But in order to even get there and invited into our consultation, you have to use the code Frank Fights the Fat. And this promo will be going on until September 12th.
This is the easiest fat fighting you've done, right?
No, yeah.
It's a lot easier than going to the gym for 2 hours.
Way easier.
So wait, though, I know people are probably going to want to know, you work out how many times a week?
Pretty much every day. I do something.
Okay, every day.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you and be like, oh yeah, I'm in training camp, and I'm like, you know, I went in yesterday and did pull-ups, and I was like, you know what, I just don't feel like doing any more pull-ups, so I stopped. You know, it's just I'm not in that space where I need to like be
Hardcore grinder.
all the time. So I just do what I do. You know, yesterday I worked out twice yesterday. I did back and I did yoga. Today I did chest. Tonight I'll probably go run, just because I need to. I got some rolls coming up. I got to be a little more active, so I'm gonna run a little bit. But I don't crush it. I don't crank it. You might say I'm a 5-day-a-week workout guy. You know,
Okay.
I'm really not doing a crazy amount of working out, but I am getting stuck. I'm at that age now where my midline just doesn't go anywhere. It just kind of stays. And if I say I go on like a 3-day bender like I did this last weekend, then I come out on Sunday and I'm like just completely puffy and like super round. I'm like, what the hell did I do? All I did was drink scotch and eat a bunch of chicken wings. Like, of course is what I am. So I have my problems too. But if I stay on my diet and I work hard and I'm always like staying, you know, at that not that super high intensity, that mid level, I still get stuck when I can't get rid of my midsection. You know, and I'm in an industry and we're in a world now where you kind of, the better you look, the more things you get away with.
Yeah, and
Ain't that the truth?
It's interesting to talk about fat and different kinds of fat too, because this laser is basically treating that layer of fat that develops between the skin and the underlying muscle. Okay. Now, when you see people who got that really big belly, and you go in and, you know, here I can grab you and I can get some stuff here.
Yeah.
But you only get skin, yet they got the big belly. It's because the fat is all inside of them. It's in there. It's what they call visceral fat. You know, your viscera is your intestines and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So the laser, to be clear, won't treat the fat that's within your abdominal cavity. It's only going to treat the fat that's outside your abdominal cavity. And unfortunately, particularly for men, we tend to get a lot of visceral fat as we gain weight. And unfortunately, that's really something that only diet and exercise can get rid of.
Yeah.
I'm getting some fun comments on here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking at it. What are they saying?
I got Christopher Gassett, break his twinkle toe. Squire Brett Bennett, he has always worked out hard. It's always brought him closer to nap time.
Squire and I have been friends since freaking 1993.
Awesome. What about a Sean Garrett, stubborn area of fat for a stubborn man?
Nobody likes you, Sean. Nobody likes you at all.
Just some good witty comments.
How about questions? You got any questions?
Had a few questions. Lisa asked how it feels. That's about it so far for the questions. I'm sure you'll get a bunch more questions after you post the video on there.
What's your plan after your SculpSure treatment today?
We'll go home and have breakfast. Lunch. I guess it's lunch now, right? We'll go to lunch.
In and out?
We'll bring you some of that. We can bring you some extra, the leftovers Krispy Kremes from yesterday that we got in the foot back. That'll defeat your purpose.
Yeah, defeat everything. Yeah. I got a shoulder therapy later tonight. I'm gonna have lunch and take a nap and Do some laundry. That's my day.
Look at some new real
You're
estate.
cruising along. You're 3 minutes and 30 seconds from being done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Time flies.
So I do have a question from Squire. He asks, how many treatments do you see measurable results? Measurable results.
You need to do 2 treatments per treatment area, and measurable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, basically, if you do 2 treatments, you can see the results usually on our morph pictures, because we take pre-op and post-op pictures at all different angles, and it's kind of interesting because we tend to have a different image of ourselves in reality.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people come and say, hey, I don't think I got that much effect, but you can clearly see it in the images. They just kind of don't remember what they look like 3 months before in terms of the subtle contours and that kind of thing. So you can certainly go more than 2 treatments. We recommend that you wait a full 3 months to 4 months before you start into, let's say, a third or another pair in the same area. But you will get more results if you do that. And then again, you're getting up to about 24% of fat, so you're certainly leaving fat cells behind.
Right, so each treatment destroys up to 24% of your fat cells, so if you kind of have that number to go off of. Now, every treatment per treatment area, 2 treatments, and we'll guarantee you results as long as you do your part and make sure that you're not gaining any weight. So you have to stay weight neutral or lower, but don't get confused by thinking that this is going to make you lose weight either. He might stay the same weight and see incredible results without losing anything in terms of weight.
Well, I think it's interesting.
Fat's not very heavy, right? Compared to like muscle weight.
Well, one of our other coworkers who did this really early on when we started, she's not really overweight or heavy or anything. Kind of tall, nice body type and everything. But she did 2 treatments, and she's super happy because she basically said that she can wear pants that she had in the closet that she was waiting to wear that she couldn't wear anymore. So that's the kind of change that you will notice, is that your pants get looser, or pants you can't wear, you can now wear.
Right.
And those are the kind of results that we're looking for.
And with that particular person, she was telling me in the beginning, Nicole, I don't see anything. I don't see a difference at all. And I just kept telling her, just wait. It's only been 3 weeks. It's only been 4 weeks. It's only been 5.
Yeah.
And then finally, out of the blue, she was calling my phone saying, oh my God, I can't believe it. I have to tell you thank you, because I had a pair of pants that I've had in my closet forever. They were size small, and I couldn't throw them away because I just couldn't stand that I wasn't a small anymore. And I put them back on. And she said, I put them back on and they fit. So she's really happy. But that's kind of what you'll go through when you're doing this treatment. You won't,
So I kind of feel bad for my wife, because she works out. We work out together, so she works out just as much as I do, and she has a harder time as a female trying to keep fat off. And she'll we'll go out to eat. I'm gonna eat half the plate, take the other half home, and have it later. She's like doing all these like super extreme things. I'm like, look, it's just your body type, it's just how you go. It's just not gonna come off like you would think for everybody else. So that's why she's super interested in this, because it's something that she can do and get a little more result, even though she is working out so hard and watching her diet and all that.
Yeah.
Well, it's one more tool in our toolbox. It certainly isn't the answer in isolation of all the other things that we know we have to do for our body types. So Frank, you are done.
That's it.
You are done. You are
that's that
turned
noise was?
off.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what that beep was. You notice
idea.
you're
It seems faster than
not
usual.
getting hot anymore, are you?
I just thought I was on a longer cooling cycle for some reason. I don't know.
Right. So we're going to take off the applicators here and
Let you
clean
look
them
at
up.
his skin.
Take off the belt, and I love this belt. We have this whole belting system. It looks like some bizarre medieval thing, other than it's made of plastic instead of spiked metal.
The belt is part of the equipment, right?
Right. Yeah. And so we have all these combinations so we can strap into the flanks and put these probes all over the place. And if you're going to run it, you might as well run four heads in there.
Yeah.
So let me ask you one more question real quick. We got from Lisa. She wants to know how long it'll last.
Well, the fat destruction is permanent.
So you
So
won't
the death
you
of the
won't
fat
regrow
cells-
any fat
you will
cells
not
in that
regrow
area.
Fat cells in that area. Now,
Oh, wow.
if you got really fat, you're going to swell the ones that are still there.
Okay.
But you will have less to swell.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So let's
it
take
is
a look at this.
permanent reduction. If you kill fat cells or get rid of them, they don't come back. So, yeah, you got a
we'll
little.
go ahead and take a look at his skin. He is a little pink, but go ahead and touch your skin, Frank. What do you notice? Is it
Nothing.
hot?
No, actually, the only thing I feel is the indents from the belt.
Yep.
That's all I feel.
That's all, because we have to make it kind of tight so that it's really secure. But sometimes your skin is actually cold to the touch right after you take the laser off, which is surprising because it feels so hot. But it's because of that cooling that's cooling your skin the entire time. So your skin's protected. You're not going to get damaged. You won't get burned. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super easy, and it's the best. The second best workout I had all day today. I was going to lay here now.
So remember, Frank fights the fat.
Oh yes, Frank
right?
fights the fat. I'll say the number one more time, 808-792-3937. Ask for me. My name is Nicole. The girls that answer the phone, if it's not myself that answers, they're great. If I'm not available, you can ask them questions too. And then use the code Frank Fights the Fat.
AlohaLaserVision.com.
Yep.
Oh, and
there we
that's
go.
our website. Hey. Oh, follow us on Instagram, Aloha Laser Vision, and I hope if you're watching this, you have liked our Facebook page. So, yeah. And any other questions about any of our services, we're always welcome to answer anything you guys need to know about. So, thanks for watching.
Aloha.